gentlemen. Yeah, Morty said he couldn't play softball tonight because he was afraid it might rain.
Really?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Where do you...
It's like the most beautiful day of the spring, and Morty is worried about a little rain.
Tell me this. Where do you guys play?
Oh, we have a suite at the Plaza.
Ah.
Our next guest made his mark really as a really bad person in the blockbuster hit series Wise Guy, and he recently played Jim Baker in a movie right here on NBC. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kevin Spacey. Kevin, are you there? Come on out here. Hi, Kevin, nice to see you. Thank you very much for being on the show. Now, tell me a little bit about this Wise Guy. How long were you on the show?
They do a series of arcs, and I did 9...
Series of arcs?
Arcs.
Arcs.
Not an arc, but...
Arc?
Yeah, they do a storyline of like 11 episodes or 9 episodes or 7 episodes of each storyline, and I was in one that lasted 9.
Right.
And then they killed me.
And you're saying, the word you're saying is spelled how?
A-R-C.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I've not heard that term applied to...
Arc, that's, well, I think they actually invented it.
Yeah.
It was a new thing.
And it's, you were the villain. And what made you so bad? What did you do?
Aside from shooting drugs up between my toes, I was having a kind of suggestive relationship with my sister.
Oh, God. See, why did I ask this? I just with the spelling bee, I was doing much better.
Yeah.
And so now you're done with that, right?
I'm done with that. They killed me.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
God.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. So how's your summer going? Everything
My summer's
all right?
going great.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Riding my bike around the city.
Yeah, you live in town here?
Yeah. You know, going to the Mandela ticker tape parade.
All right.
Was that the Absolute vodka truck he was in?
No, I don't think. I don't know. I don't think so. Probably not.
I was too far away, I guess.
It was some kind of security vehicle. I can see how you might be mistaken.
Yeah.
No,
basically, I'm walking my dog around the park.
What kind of dog do you have?
I have a black Labrador.
Yeah, those are great dogs.
They are. He's a great dog.
Very enthusiastic.
He's an enthusiastic dog. He's inspired many moments this doesn't exactly involve him, but I invited well, it does in a way. No, it does in a way. You know those they keep coming up with new dog biscuits.
Yeah.
And they came up with one recently that was like a Mexican-style mesquite flavor yuppie dog biscuit.
Yeah.
And I invited a bunch of people over to watch the Academy Awards, and we had like a little food, table that we'd set up, a little buffet.
Snacks, treats,
And
sure.
a friend of mine came over early, and we thought, wouldn't it be fun? Because this package is a little unusual. It's not a normal dog package. It sort of has a dog in a Mexican hat. It's a little strange.
Yeah.
So we put it out, and we thought, wouldn't it be interesting to see if anybody actually,
sampled the
dog biscuit.
Yeah.
But I thought if anybody even smelled it...
They would know immediately.
No.
They smell like liver or something.
Well, if your tomatoes got hard, this is what it would have been like.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ugly,
it was awful.
Yeah.
And about halfway through the Academy Awards, I laughed at something that Rob Lowe did. And then... and then I turned and I looked at her, and this girl who I had just met, it was a girlfriend of a friend of mine, she had her hand in the box, and I thought, well, now she'll smell it, and it won't, but she ate it.
Ooh, man. Wow.
And I couldn't bring myself to say anything because she seemed to be enjoying it.
So it was still in the dog biscuit container.
If you'd read it, it said dog biscuit. If you smelled it, you would have thought you were at a pound. I mean,
I would have thought that the poodle in the sombrero would have been a tip, too, as you said.
She was nibbling.
Yeah.
They broke up after that.
Good for them.
Something about fleas.
Did you, when you first started out, did you have trouble? I guess actors always have trouble getting parts, good parts that they really want.
Yeah, we'll do just about anything to get noticed when we're first starting out. There was something that I did that when I was at Juilliard. I came to New York 10 years ago to go to school, and I was in my second year at school, and I was getting kind of anxious to work professionally, and so I started doing what actors do. I wrote letters to casting directors and invited them to the play, and you want to try to appear not so serious, you want to, I have a sense of humor, and so at the end of what was sort of a typical letter, I said, P.S., if you don't come and see the play, I'm going to try to kill the president.
Ah!
Well...
A little kicker there.
A little... Well, the casting director I sent this to, either we didn't have the same sense of humor or she was a Republican, because she turned it over to the Secret Service.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so one night I was getting dressed, you know, to do the show, and the head of the department secretary came down and she said, Kevin, Mr. Langham would like to see you right away. And he was a very conservative British director. And when I went upstairs, he was sort of half in and half out of his door, and he said, Kevin, there are two gentlemen here who'd like to speak with you. So I went in and immediately knew who these guys were, because they don't wear subtle, you know, they have antenna, you know, satellite dishes coming out of their head.
For a second, did you think it might be connected to that dog biscuit prank?
They had Mexican hats on, too. That could have been the... So the first thing they did was they frisked me.
Oh, man.
And Michael said, well, I'll just be leaving you all alone then. And I'm telling you, I spent an hour and a half with these guys who were very serious guys.
Yeah.
These, like, no sense of humor, these guys.
Well, I think you can understand that.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was a joke.
Well, I know, but...
They had, I understood. I understood. And they sort of, you know, kept asking me lots of questions, and then I heard my heart pound and saw Rikers like this when he turned to his partner and said, you want to read him his rights?
Oh, my God, it actually got that far?
Got that far.
So what had you told these guys before that?
Well, I was trying to explain it was a joke, you know, and it was, I mean, but, you know, remember, I was there with sort of half a beard on and makeup and a fat pad, so I looked like an assassin. I mean, they weren't taking me seriously. And I was trying to explain it, you know, in a sort of, this was a joke and, you know, don't take it seriously, but they did for a while. And then they called the U.S. District Attorney, and it was cleared and it was okay, except they had to go investigate anyone who knew about this. And I had been living with this girl, and I had typed the letter on her typewriter. And so they went to interview her at like Friday on 9 o'clock on Friday morning, and she was so nervous about them coming to interview that she'd gotten up at like 7 in the morning and cleaned everything in the house, anything that looked suspect. Marijuana poppy seeds up off the floor, I mean, everything. And she took one last look at the room when the doorbell rang just to make sure that everything was okay, and she screamed because on the coffee table was the People magazine with Jodie Foster on the cover. She threw it out the window.
Oh, man. That's a little peculiar. Now, do you think that periodically they're going to pull your card up out of the file again and come back and visit you?
I hope not.
No, I think this is the kind of thing that'll stay with you, though.
It stays with you?
Yeah, don't screw anything up.
Yeah.
Let's see. What are you doing this summer? Did we mention that?
I'm just hanging out.
Oh, good, good. Well, nice to see you. Thank you very much for dropping by. Pleasure meeting you. Kevin Spacey, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back.